The #MeToo movement was a feminist movement that fought for the inclusivity and fair treatment of women in China. China put censorship on its media and prevented its citizens from engaging in any form of the feminist movement, especially the movement against the sexual harassment towards women. This annoyed many women as they were the ones who were facing a lot of discrimination because of the censorship. Hence women went in high numbers on their social media platforms and rallied others around the world using the #MeToo hashtag to help fight for their rights. In tandem with the #MeToo hashtag, bunny, bowl, and rice emojis were used. The reason why those emojis were used was that they had symbolic meaning behind them. A good example is the rice bunny symbol, which in Chinese pronounced as me too. This combination of emojis were widely used on social medias. The #MeToo is known as #WoYeshi. Emoji came from one of the feminist activists Xiaokiki. #MeToo started in the movement by the former PhD student Luo Qingkan criticizing one of the professors from Beihang University, Chen Xiaowu, for the sexual harassment. This non-ethical harassment happened almost 12 years ago, yet it still blistered Luo's mind ever since. When #MeToo movement began to globally inspire and encourage people around the world, Luo decided to contact her former classmate who've had the similar experiences long ago. Those former students shared the one common memory about Chen Xiaowu with Luo: that they were forced to drink alcohol with Professor Chen Xiaowu. It turned out that one of the former students actually have the recording of harassment as the proof. Luo then contacted the president of Beihang Alumni Association to publicly accuse Chen Xiaowu. The Beihang University finally removed Chen Xiaowu from his teaching position. As Xiaokuki's #MeToo on well-known microblogging platform Weibo attracted more than 2.3 million views in just few days. The action which Beihang University made was praised by China Daily that other universities must follow what Beihang University did, being open and not covering up the scandal. The commentary that China Daily encouraged students to tell #MeToo and expose their inhumane experience with abusive teachers, professors. One of the feminist activists, Da Tu, had been fighting the sexual harassment in China since 2012. However, the public space for such activism drastically reduced since 2014 at the intervention of Chinese government's censorship and the police. It was the day before the International Women's Day on March 8, 2015, when 5 feminists who got arrested for their act of activism. Li Meizi was humiliated in prison for her sexual orientation and was mocked for being a lesbian. Meizi's identities as a lesbian and a feminist activist were part of the reasons for her imprisonment. And sadly, this highlights the shared problem that feminist and LGBT activists face in China even today. Xiao Meili, who were in a lesbian relationship with Li Meizi and was also feminist activist, wrote an open letter regarding the sexual harassment on Chinese university campuses and denouncing the lack of proper investigation. As #MeToo movement in China grabbed more public's attention, Meili suggested universities to offer education on sexual harassment to students, staff, and faculty through public lectures, and that universities must hire investigator and establish hotline for students to report sexual harassment directly to school officials. There was a young woman named Ji Yu Wang, Peking University graduate, who wrote the joint letter to Peking University signed by 9,000 students asking for establishing sexual harassment prevention. However, the campaign faced pressure from the school authorities and removal from the social medias. Luckily, this form of suppression from the government and local authorities grabbed the attention of international netizens around the world. In 1998, 20-year-old Peking University student Gao Yan, sophomore student in Chinese literature, committed suicide after being raped by her professor Zhang Peng. This tragic event shocked Chinese community after 2 decades as #MeToo movement in China grabbed more public interest, attention. As a result of #MeToo movement, after 20 years, Professor Zhang Peng, who was teaching at Shanghai Normal University and Nanjing University as a part-time instructors at that time, got removed from teaching positions. Not only university students but also other female workers began to break their silence about their sexual harassment experiences. There was an article published by one of the female Foxconn employees working on assembly line on the women's labor rights website Jianjiao that this person experienced daily sexual harassment at the workplace. This includes dirty jokes about her body, unwanted physical contact etc. As this person witnessed the justice being served at Bihang University, she demanded Foxconn on Educ